At Roosevelt Stadium here in Union City, New Jersey, where tonight Cablevision of Hudson County is proud to present the high school football game of the week between the Bees of Bayonne and the Bulldogs of Emerson. And we have just witnessed, Jimmy Cavallo, I'm Anthony Fusilli, a touchdown on the opening kickoff between the Bulldogs and the Bees, and it was for Bayonne. It went back 96 yards, and after this extra point here...
Go, Johnny, go! Johnny Stewart, there's the man right there, number 16, 97 yards. He went moments ago. We'll check it out.
They go for 2. And they get it. Well, let's start with the kickoff.
Johnny Stewart basking in some of the glory right there. The junior lit this place up early on, Roosevelt Stadium.
And all of a sudden, the 1 and 3 Bees who come into this game have an early lead, Jim, and that's something that head coach John Rickard wanted, and that's something that head coach Bruce Nascimento didn't. Special teams have been a sore thumb for the Bulldogs all season long, and started right with the opening kick. Emerson, with a week off last week, comes in with a record of 1 and 2, and maybe the guys were a little asleep at the wheel for the opening kickoff. I know
Johnny Stewart wasn't.
Johnny Stewart wasn't, because it was a hell of a run back, and then the Bees went for the 2-point conversion and made it. So John Rickard right there with the tie, looking rather dapper.
Like to see the guy wearing the tie in his first year, showing a little Dan Reeves action. Dan Reeves, the only guy in the NFL to still wear that tie, right?
Maybe that's John Rickard's idol or role model, or someone he looks up to. But he looks rather dapper, and why not? I mean, he takes over a Bayonne program that was coached for many years by Don Ahern Sr., who unfortunately passed away this past year, and he will be missed by everyone in Hudson County. A great coach, and someone who is, when you think of Bayonne football, you think of Don Ahern and his family.
Let's see if they can return the favor right here. Ball rattles around and picked up at about the 20-yard line. Will go out of bounds. Ball run back that time by number 15, Jeffrey Pena. Jeffrey, one of the guys who will be receiving for the Emerson Bulldogs, one of the better receivers in the county at that. Take a look at the offensive backs for Emerson. Tommy Crespo, the quarterback. Bruce Garcia, Anthony Ledger, he's a good one right there. Matias Trinidad, Ramon Negron, and Jeffrey Pena. Billy Cordero, Angel Morel, Hassan Hernandez, and Questada. So take a look at the Bulldogs come out with their first offensive set of the game. They look up, they already trail 8-0, so let's see what the junior Tommy Crespo can get going.
Offensive coordinator Kevin Carroll told me they were going to come out with no huddle. Let's see.
They will script the first 5 plays or so. Here's Crespo on first down. In motion is Pena. Crespo gives on first down. Off the left side, he's got some room. That's Ledger.
And Ledger was tackled by the quarterback, Mike Wilkowski.
Wilkowski banged up a couple weeks ago. As you take a look at the defensive line for Bayonne, Elio Montas, Mota, Marco, and Blankenship will make the tanks up front. Try to clog up them holes, the defensive line for the Bees. On second down, here's the Bulldogs again. Crespo hands off the other way this time. Looking for room. Bruce Garcia's got some room. Crosses over the 30-yard line to about the 32, and that'll be the first down for the Bulldogs on the evening.
Well, he got some help up front from his friends, and there you see the linebackers. Go ahead, Jim.
Vink, Sanchez, Gomez, and Ed Reyes will make up the linebacking core. The secondary is Wilkowski, Bryant, and Marky Wallace.
As they hurry up these plays.
1st and 10, Tommy Crespo. Just what our Chiron operator likes to see, a no-huddle offense. Crespo with his first throw of the game swings it out to the flats. Low ball, not handled that time at about the 40-yard line. He was looking for Pena, and he had him.
Pena has excellent hands, and he is the go-to guy when they look to throw the ball in the air. And that time they were not able to hook up as the quarterback, Crespo, rolled out, faked the handoff, Here we go again.
No huddle, 2nd and 10. Here's Crespo once again. Little motion by Pena. Crespo hands off inside. It's Ledger banging for yards, looking for the second effort. Not going to get there. Good job to contain that time. Number 84 is right on him. George Vine.
George Vine finally was able to rope down the running back for Emerson, and it looked like he was kind of surprised. He showed up right between the 8 and the 4.
3rd down and long for the Bulldogs. Crespo. He'll throw in time. Feels the pressure. Lays it off in the flats. Nobody home. Good rush that time, and Crespo hit the turf. Coming that time was big number 88, Brian Blankenship.
So Emerson now in a punting situation from their 38-yard line. Bayonne leads in this game by a score of 8-0, and we hope to show you that touchdown at some point in this game.
Johnny Stewart. Rodney Roman in to punt for the Bulldogs. Uh-oh, high snap. Right. That is Ledger. He boots it. My fault. Ledger is the punter. Gets a good roll. Ball rolls up to about the 35-yard line. Ledger kind of feels that lollipop snap, but without any pressure on him. Got it off in time. And the Bees will come back over. Their offense has not been on the field yet they lead 8-0 on a 97-yard kickoff return by Johnny Stewart.
They're going to have to trust us on that one, Jim.
And Johnny Stewart will be leaving some nasty messages on your machine, Anthony. Mike Wolkowski, there's the offensive Bayonne. Angel Sanchez. Clarence Bryant is the featured back. Blankenship, Stewart, and Wallace. First down for Bayonne. Wolkowski hands off inside, looking for yardage, gets up to about the line of scrimmage that time.
Several Bulldogs up front there. As you see, Frazier.
Ball was carried by Sanchez, Frazier, Montes, and Amarando, Reyes, and Joe Stiles. He's styling, Joey.
Stiles may be a leader on that offensive line.
On defense, Mo Hassan, Juan Hernandez, Julio Quesada. And take a look at the linebackers, Brito, Gio Caman, Marrero, and Garcia. And Ledger, Johnson, and Pena are the defensive backs. 2nd down, here's Wolkowski. Wolkowski, a little option, he keeps it off the option. Wolkowski turns the corner up over the 40-yard line. Picks up about 4 or 5 on the play. They'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Last week, Bayonne had the misfortune of playing North Bergen, and that didn't go rather well for the Bees, as they were treated rather rudely in a 33-0 defeat.
Tough game for them.
It is, and you know, you give a lot of credit to the Bayonne coach, because he said, hey, we hope to aspire to become a North Bergen someday, and we are going to try and pattern ourselves with those type of programs.
Here's 3rd down. Off the option once again. He's keeping it again. Turns the corner. Looking for him. Good job by the Emerson defense. But Wolkowski fighting for yardage. Will not even get back to the line of scrimmage. And Emerson saw that all the way, Tony.
Well, Bruce Johnson, I believe it was Bruce Garcia, I'm sorry, made a great play on the option. He took the running back. Hey, you'll see number 1 coming your screen. He takes the running back, number 3, right out of the play. And here's a problem with Emerson all year long. You just saw tackling. That is the number 1 problem that plagues this Emerson defense. You can't tackle, you can't play defense. They have the quarterback trapped in the backfield, 2 or 3 guys. No one can bring him down. He was able to finally get some yardage.
Here's Johnny Stewart, the punt for the Bees. Stewart, low line drive punt. Leggard Air will have to field it. Good job by him to field it. Or that would have been a long punt. He's tackled and swarmed right away by the Bees.
Leggard not wanting to go down. But so Emerson successful on their first defensive stance against the Bees. Now they'll get another chance to come back offensively. I don't think we will see the no-huddle offense again.
Emerson was able to get a first down. Take a look at some of the Emerson coaching staff. Bruce Nascimento in the background right there.
That's Al Nascimento, his brother, who runs the defense and has to be rather pleased with the last session that they had on the field.
So out come the Bulldogs. Here's Tommy Crespo on first down at about the 25. Hands off inside, battling his way for yardage is Bruce Garcia. Bruce crosses over.
It's rather simple for the Bulldogs, Jim. They're going to try and run to the right, where they're all-everything offensive lineman mans that position. Julio Quesada, big 75, who is being recruited by Rutgers and several D1 schools, goes 6'3", 270 pounds, a senior. Very strong player. And they're going to try to run to that tackle, that side, behind him as much as they can.
Second down and 7. You take a look at Crespo head on. He's got Frankie Johnson. He gives it to Johnson. Johnson had a hole for a second. It closed down. Good job by the Bayonne defense.
Well, the linebackers kept their positioning and were able to kind of bottle that up.
Picked up about 4 on the play. Bring up third down and short. Looks to be about 3rd and 2. You take another look. The lead block right there was Pena.
And a good job by George Vine to kind of plug things up.
Yeah.
And the rest of his friends got there.
Some bodies flying in there, though. Gotta love that look we had right there by the Cable Vision of Hudson County crew.
Marky Wallace finally gets to bring him down, number 40. Big play here for the Bulldogs. This is something, Jim, that has plagued Emerson all year long. Third down situation.
Well, this is 3rd and short right here. Here's Crespo. The pass, Crespo. Tipped that time. Good job by the defense to get a hand on it. Somebody off that left side of the defensive line put on good pressure right there. Frankie Johnson, take a look at him. So Bayonne will hold.
Well, on the 3rd and short situation, they're looking for a quick pass out to the right side. And one of the Bees alertly got a hand up there, and it looked like it was number 88, Brian Blankenship, with the heads-up play. Coach Rickard said the strength of our defense lies up front with the big boys.
Here's Ledger back to punt once again. Ball is tipped around. Here's trouble for Emerson. Bayonne's going to come up with this one, an outstanding field position. I don't know if the fake was on right there. That snap might have gone to the up back, but it was botched.
Well, there is a flag on the play, but I you were looking at a fake, possibly. And let's look at our officials. That's referee Joe Paradise from LSU. Declines the penalty, will Bayonne. And you have a motion penalty against Emerson.
Take another look at this play right here. Let's see where that snap was going.
I think it was going to Anthony Legger, the up back, but it went over his head. Legger, who is the punter, that time was lined up as the blocking, or lined up in a blocking situation. They tried a quick snap to him, but it went over his head. So again, special teams, not the best friend of the Bulldogs.
Outstanding field position for them right here for the Bees, inside the 20. Here's a handoff inside, going to Clarence Bryant. Bryant skips and dances across the 15-yard line. We'll pick up a few, and with 5:55 to go in the first quarter, the Bees are in business once again.
Now they have some interchangeable players on this B team, as Clarence Bryant can play quarterback, and Marky Wallace can play running back. Mike Wilkowski, you see 5:38 to go in the first quarter, 8-0 Bees, and they have really cashed in on special teams so far in this game.
Here's Wilkowski to throw, looking across the middle, tipped up. Oh, what a hit that time put on by the secondary, Jeffrey Pena.
On Marky Wallace, who wants to know, or did he get the name of the license plate of that truck that just came through the secondary? Because Jeffrey Pena really did the only thing he had to do. That's a dream for a free safety. Unfortunately for Marky Wallace, who hopefully is not injured, he was laid out there. He was in a bad situation, trying to keep his eye on that football as it's hanging up there, Jim. And Pena had the only play he could make.
And Marky Wallace was going to come up with this ball in spectacular fashion. Watch right here. He's locked in for that ball, and bang, right there comes the hit. Marky Wallace had 6 right there, and Pena with a touchdown-saving hit. And let's just hope Marky Wallace just had his bell rung and can shake this one off.
He tipped the ball first, then tried to make the catch after the tip. Again, heads-up play.
All right, Marky, way to shake it off, baby. He took a football hit right there.
Good news from Bayonne. But again, Pena, the safety had his eyes wide open when he saw Marky really looking at the football, and he never saw Jeffrey Pena coming across the middle.
Good job by Pena just to play the man, not get distracted by the ball, and just took him out.
Again, Wilkowski, the quarterback, has had some problems this year. He had a concussion. He's been playing on and off, but he's back in the lineup, and we'll see how he does tonight.
3rd and 7. Here's Wilkowski off the option. He keeps it. Nobody home. Swings it out that time to Bryant. Bryant cuts it inside. Bryant hit it towards the end zone. Touchdown, Clarence Bryant. Oh, what a job by Mike Wilkowski, the quarterback. He worked the option to perfection right there, froze the defense, gave it at the last moment to Clarence Bryant, who cashes in.
Well, he had more moves on that play, Jim. He was going left, right, and then it looked like he was going to run. Then he had the presence to go, look right there. It looked like it was a busted. It wasn't a busted play. It was a design play. Whew. And here you go, the tackling problem for the Bulldogs this year, right there. 3 guys, 3 missed tackles.
That was the power option. Watch him fling this ball out. This ball travels about 6 yards on the option. Out to Bryant. He does the rest. And as you said, missed tackles for Emerson, hurting them. So early on, the Bulldogs got themselves in a hole here in their home stadium, Roosevelt Field, Union City, New Jersey. And Clarence Bryant, he knows how to score. They will go for 2. Here's Mike Wilkowski. Wilkowski looks to throw. Motion penalty coming up against Bayonne. Emerson will decline it, and they'll come away with 6 points.
The last time they lined up for the 2-point conversion, they rolled the quarterback out, and he ran it in. This time they went for the pass.
Blankenship released off the line of scrimmage. Once again, the call is procedure against Bayonne. Emerson will obviously decline this one. And Bayonne will come out with 6 points, but they got the 8 on the first round. So it sits at an even 14. You take a look at John Rickard, a 1989 graduate of Bayonne. After a couple years as an assistant, he will take the helm as the head coach in 1996. And he's taking on a tough schedule.
Good up-and-coming coach, Jim. Looks like he's trying to get this Bayonne situation turned around the last couple of years down in Bayonne. They have struggled, and they did struggle under Don Ahern. But last year and the year before that, they seemed to start to turn the corner. Bayonne started to get, especially last season, started to hang with some of the bigger boys, and some of the people quietly were starting to wonder and worry in Hudson County, because let me tell you something. That is a gold mine down in Bayonne. They have a lot of talented athletes. They have a lot of places really to choose from to get kids, and that was one of the giants in Hudson County football in the early and mid-'80s. And they have sent some players. In fact, one player into the NFL is playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, Dana Hughes. So some coaches, well, they won't tell you, know that this Bayonne team, if they ever turned it around, could be a problem for some teams.
Ball is fielded by Frankie Johnson for Emerson. Runs into the pile at about the 35-yard line, pushed back, and
it doesn't go down. Neither does Frankie.
And Anthony, talk about John Rickard. Hey, he says, we're not there yet in 1996, but we're going to rebuild. I'm going to get my philosophy into this program.
And basically, his philosophy, Jim, is the same philosophy that Emerson is trying to follow. You have to do the work in the off-season. You got to get your kids to buy into the program, and that they have to spend time in the weight room. And he said, we can't compete with Hoboken, St. Peter's Prep, and North Bergen if they're spending time in the weight room and we're not. And that's the same thing Emerson and Bruce Nascimento is trying to convince his kids.
Out come the Bulldogs under Bruce Nascimento. 1st down and 10. Ball just across the 35-yard line. Here's Crespo. Hands off inside, looking for yardages. Bruce Garcia gets up and over the 40-yard line. And Anthony, Bruce Nascimento says 1996 was the first year his guys were in the weight room in the offseason. So this is something new for the Emerson Bulldogs to get in there in the offseason. 12 months a year, the program's got to be working. And he's seen some results. He had an outstanding preseason.
And they want to get back to that where they scrimmage teams like Dickinson and St. Peter's Prep and played pretty well, played pretty convincingly against Dickinson. I think they even took it to Dickinson in that game.
Here's Crespo. 1st down, hands it off to the second back through. Looking for room is Frankie Johnson.
You got to watch out for Frankie. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's very deceiving. And how about the way Emerson won their football game against Hudson Catholic 2 weeks ago? Being down in that game,
hook
in the last minute, they run the hook and ladder.
Frankie Johnson, 5'2", 130 pounds of fury.
He takes the pitch on that hook and goes down inside the 5-yard line. They score one play later.
It was Crespo to Johnson.
and they shocked everyone, including Hudson Catholic.
Here's Crespo, 3rd down and 3. Crespo, did he draw the defense off? I think he did.
Good job. 3rd and 3, a short yardage situation. The defensive lineman trying to get going, and Harlan Mota has got to wait for that ball to be snapped. How many times do you see a guy line up very near the center, and all he has to do is look at that football? And I know, because I played a little of that nose guard position in high school. You want to get back there so quickly.
I think you can credit that one to the cadence of Tommy Crespo, because not Harlan Mota, give him credit, he is right over the ball. He should be looking for the ball mover, but he could also hear Crespo, and Crespo probably gave him one of those and drew him off sides.
He sold it.
He sold it, absolutely. I just wanted to get a few of those ha-has in there.
It brings you back to your cheerleading days.
That's me. Rah-rah Jimbo. Crespo comes back, ball set just outside the midfield stripe. Little fake pass out to Ledger, but a good job right there. Wrapping him up was number 65 on the defense, Paul Marco.
That was a little slow developing, looked like almost a draw. They tried to fake the pass and then run the handoff up the middle, and Bayonne did not buy a bit of it. Good job by the defense up front.
Pro-style offense does Tommy Crespo run. Multiple offense. They'll show you a little bit of everything. They'll do a little option out of the double tight end sets. They like to keep you guessing. Here's the 6-foot, 180-pound junior Tommy Crespo. He will throw it 10 to 15 times a game. 2nd down and 9. Here's Crespo. Throw once again. Crespo throws a high ball. This one's up for grabs. Who's got it? Did he come down? Yes, he did. No, it's intercepted. Didn't know who caught that one, and Mike Walkowski. That one was QB to QB.
That was a hell of a play by Mike, because it looked like he took the ball away from Jeffrey Penna. Jeffrey Penna, a very skilled receiver. Looked like both of them may have had it for a second, and Mike maybe with the strength enough to pull it away. That's exactly what happened. He took that ball away from Pena.
Pena had the inside position, but Walkowski, just watch this. Ball is up. They rise at the same time. Walkowski with the momentum is able to roll off the ball, and he's got himself an interception. That's right, holds it up there, Michael.
Now wait a minute here.
He was down right where he caught the ball, so the Bayonne Bees will take over.
Okay. They back him up.
Ball just outside the 20. 2:33 to go, first quarter. Bayonne leads Emerson 14-0. This game started out with Johnny Stewart going 97 yards, and Bayonne has been good since. Here's a screen. Out. Caught that time by Clarence Bryant. He's got the blockers. Clarence Bryant across the 30. Bryant's got some room, and forget about it. Signed, sealed, delivered. Clarence Bryant, 78 yards, touchdown, Bayonne.
That was an excellent call by Rickard and his coaching staff. The Emerson defense, very aggressive. In fact, the whole defense seemed to be in the backfield. I think they caught him on a blitz with the linebackers also, Jim. And they just sent him out. Did Clarence Bryant. Here you see the linebackers. They seem to all come. Everybody's coming. A perfect time to call that. He's got some friends up front with some excellent blocking. Nice block by Nick, number 62. Dave Admirato with the block.
Jesse Lewandowski, too, with a big block. Number 44 to seal off the wide receiver. Taking a look. Once you see all these defensive guys come in so easy, you know the screen is coming. There's the catch by Bryant. Looks for the blockers, and the rest is all just speed and athleticism. And there goes Clarence off to the races. He was gone, and he knew it.
And Admirato didn't take one guy out, Jim. He took two guys out. So that's an excellent block by number 62, the center, getting downfield and taking two Bulldogs with him.
So Bayonne is coming focused and ready. Here's our first kicking attempt for an extra point of the game. Up, and it's good. He drills it through the uprights. Number 40, Marky Wallace, and nails the extra point. And don't look now, Bulldog fans, but we're still in the first quarter, and it's 21-0 Bayonne.
Well, Jim, you know, you said, you know, when you see those defensive linemen in the backfield, it's trouble, but it's a double trouble when you got a blitz coming and you got the linebackers too. That leaves 3 or 4 DBs back there and only 2 on the one side.
Well, you know the coach is up top for Emerson.
Take a look at number 62 if you can. as he throws the block to spring. Clarence Bryant coming up right there. 1, 2. That's a block for you.
And the rest was Clarence Bryant off to the races, and the Bees are flying high on Friday Night Football, cable vision of Hudson County style. They lead 21-0.
Hey boy, you think you're gonna get it past me? I got some power, and you ain't got none. Yeah! Come on! I got it! You want it! Let's take it! Take it home!
Zip, 2:15 to go in just the first quarter, kicking off. Here comes the little big man, Frankie Johnson. Frankie looking for room into the pile. Frankie Johnson had a hole for a second. He'll run into the pile at about the 34-yard line, and he doesn't give up.
He doesn't go down.
Frankie Johnson, you know what they say, it's not the size of the man in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the man. And he brings the game to you.
Well, right now, we got to see some fight in the Bulldogs. They were off for a week, Jim, and it kind of shows right now as they played 2 weeks ago, and sometimes high school kids getting a week off isn't always the best thing to do, especially in the middle of the season.
They had the bye. They lost their opening week against Memorial 14-8. They lost to Scotch Plains 32-8. Scotch Plains out of the Watchung Conference. Last time out, they beat Hudson Catholic 15-12. So here's Crespo. On first down, Crespo hands it off to the second, back through. That's Bruce Garcia. He stopped right away. Good tackle inside. Looked like that man was number 3, Clarence Bryant, and why not?
He got some help also up front, I think, by Elio Montes, and inside linebacker Claudio Gomez. Jim, the first game of the season set the tone, I believe, for the Bulldogs. You know, they put so much into that game against Memorial, and it was such a heartbreaking loss that sometimes it can send your season into a tailspin. And in that game, Memorial scored 2 touchdowns within a minute in the second quarter, one as the clock expired, and they were never the same.
Second down and 9 for Crespo. Second back through looks like to be Ledger. Ledger fighting for yardage, but he's going nowhere. Good job by the Bayonne defensive line led.
That was a scoreless first half in week 1 against Memorial.
Elio Montes, and you're right.
All of a sudden, Memorial scores with about a minute to go in the first half. Then they get the ball back on a turnover, throw a pass in the air, you hear the buzzer sound off. Emerson has only 10 guys on the field. 2 Bulldogs have a Memorial Tiger cornered in the corner of the on the 1-yard line. He somehow falls into the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Even though the clock had expired, play still continues. And Emerson came out in the second half, scored a touchdown, but that was it.
That's the luck of the Bulldogs as it's been in the last few years. Emerson, as Crespo calls a timeout on a 3rd down and long. But Bruce Nascimento, you know, he's got to instill his philosophy into this program, and he's seen a lot of positive. We mentioned they had an excellent offseason, preseason. They came in, the tough loss to Memorial, but they've got it to 1-2. This team won 1 game a year ago. But Bruce says, you know what? There are signs. You look at our freshman program. They're out to 3-0. First time in a long time under head coach Tony Ragone. Well, so that's a good sign.
I can remember a team that I played on my freshman year that went 9-0, and we were really, and I'm not throwing any pats on our backs, but Emerson's program in the 70s had been known for not winning many football games. In fact, they won 1 game in 4 years. Well, back in 1979, our freshman team did something that no other team had done before. We went undefeated and we had a winning season. Well, 2 years later, we won a county championship. So that's a good point. It starts with the freshmen, and then it starts to build things, and you hope that those kids come up together, and all of a sudden you turn it around your program.
They get used to winning. Let me ask you, when you were playing in the 70s, that before the face mask came around?
It was late 70s, like 1979.
Oh, leather helmets, you know the works, folks. Bruce As you take a look, a windy night here at Roosevelt Stadium, and that's what you expect here as he hit the fall on nights. So he's got the wind at his back, does Tommy Crespo. Split wide left is Jeffrey Pena. Crespo on third, down and long. Crespo hands off. This is a run pass. Tipped inside. It was given to Bruce Garcia. He was looking to crank it up left-handed to Jeffrey Pena. But once again, the pressure by Bayonne snuffs it out.
Right now, the defensive line for Bayonne is winning the war as the big guys up front put pressure on them, and it looked like it was tipped by number 56, Jim, Elio Montes, with the presence. So those guys, the defensive ends, right now for Bayonne are giving some problems to that Emerson passing game as they've tipped 2 passes on third down.
Ledger back to punt for Emerson. 30 seconds to go, first quarter. It's not been a good quarter for the Bulldogs. Ledger gets it off, high punt. It'll roll, takes a good Bulldog roll. Hey, this is a good punt by Ledger with the roll. Rolls all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Jim, that's not a good punt. In high school football, that's a great punt. The fact that that was almost a 60-yard punt, and now they can back up Bayonne for the first time in this game and kind of reverse field position. Take you back to that weather report that you were giving a little while ago.
Oh, Jim. I thought you were going to go back to the Emerson teams of the 70s.
No. The weather is a little bit frightful outside, and I tell you, usually we're at the 50-yard line on a scaffold doing these football games, but my partner, Jimmy Cavallo, expressed an interest to be inside underneath a safe roof. He said if it's going to rain, I will not participate in this game if I have to get wet.
That is absolutely not
So Jimmy
true.
Cavallo.
I am a gamer of gamers. I was ready for the scaffold. So but Anthony Big Time Fusili said, hey, I don't do any games on no rainy scaffold. Bees take over, first down. Here's a fake inside, and it goes to the second back through number 31, Angel Sanchez. Ball came loose. What's the call right here?
Whistle was blown.
Referee said the ball was down as Ledger takes into the end zone, and boy, Emerson could use a play like that. But this is one of those times where you don't want the quarter to end. You backed up all the way. That will conclude the first quarter. And it's time for a 90-yard jaunt down to the other side of the field for the Bees. But you know what? When you're up 21-0, that run gets shorter and shorter. Emerson will trot off. Bruce Nascimento calls his guy in. Says, fellas, okay, 21-0, but we got 3 quarters to play. You see the lead, you see the time. Bulldogs are in a big hole. We're back. Cablevision of Hudson County game, giving you the high school game of the week, and you see the score right there. There we are. And we got the nice posse. Everybody, give a little wave out there, guys. Come on, guys, give a little wave out there. Yeah, there we go. We got the
Jimmy Cavallo fan club in the house.
I demand like 7 spotters. Here's a run on second down. Busting through the pack is Angel Sanchez.
And a better job up front now for the Emerson defense, led by Julio Quesada, as they brought that play to a quick halt. Angel Sanchez up the middle, really no room for him to run. So that'll bring up a third down situation, and a very important situation for this Bulldog
defense. They got to stop him right here. Ledger had the good punt, pinned him deep, and Bruce Nascimento knows he's got to stop him right here and get good field position, something Emerson has not had. So this is a big play right here as we start the second quarter. The Bees lead by 21. Third down and short. Let's see if Bruce Nascimento takes a little chance here and brings a few guys on a blitz to try and stuff this play. Up comes Wilkowski. Whistles fly everywhere, and if this is against Emerson, it's going to hurt.
Once again, our official.
Yes, it is.
Emerson,
unbelievable.
Joe
That will
Paradise gives us the call.
And it's been no paradise so far for the Bulldogs. That gives them an automatic first down without even having to snap the ball.
Our umpire tonight, Ed Van Kampen from Rutgers. And our head lineman is Art Buster Edwards from Colgate. And the line judge is Jim McKenna. There you go. And Ron Wack, our clock operator.
Really?
From Jersey City State.
Always nice when you get the clock operator's name is Wack. Roll off the first down handoff. Here's Bryant. Through the left side, picked up good yardage on that play. I love how you give the bios of the officials, too. I like that. You include where they're from.
Well, I appreciate anyone who gives me 3 minutes on the field before the game to give me information. So I got to take care of them.
Take a look at this left side of the offensive line for Bayonne. Did a good job just clearing out some bodies for Clarence Bryant.
And Clarence Bryant, a good one. Last week against North Bergen, he ripped off like a 50-yard run from the quarterback position, not from the running back position. And I remember Vinny Ascles telling me in the week that he's a player and he was impressed with him.
From the 35, here's a handoff inside, straight ahead. That'll be a first down. Well, you talked about Clarence Bryant. He was at the quarterback position for the last couple of weeks, filling in for Walkowski. And in the win against Memorial, Clarence Bryant, 4 touchdowns in that game from his quarterback position. A lot of option keepers. And he was running amok in that game.
We should mention, Jim, this is a crossover game. This is the National Conference of Bayonne taking on the American Conference of Emerson, and the smaller schools are in the American Conference. And we saw a great crossover game last week, the one that we did. Get into that in a second.
First down. Handoff inside. Snuff this time is Clarence Bryant. Good job by the defense.
Good job by number 56, Mo Hassan.
Mo.
Big Mo made sure that he said, hey, this is how you tackle. You wrap the guy up and you don't let him go, and you get some help from your friends and you push him back. They should just take that one play, the defense, and for Emerson, and play over a few times, because maybe it'll be contagious as Big Mo comes right in and just holds on to him, gets a little help up front from number 55, Juan Hernandez.
Good job by Juan, made the initial hit, and Mo put the lick on him. Here's a pass from the inside. It's caught. Look out, number 16 that time, Johnny Stewart. Completion that time, Walkowski off the slant. Johnny Stewart on the run, catches it, and Johnny Stewart is inside the 40-yard line, but a good ball that time by the quarterback, Mike Walkowski.
Well, John Rickard said he likes the ability of his quarterback. He says he's got a good, strong arm, throws the ball 8 to 10 times a game. Jim, he can't throw a better pass than that. He put it right there, and Anthony Legger brought him down finally, but, I mean, that was right where it had to be.
Johnny Stewart did not even have to break stride on that one, and the Bees are moving it once again. Emerson had him pinned deep after the big punt by Legger, but they are off and moving right here. Just outside the 35, Bayonne wants a timeout. As Coach John Rickard to come out and talk to his guys. 8:54 to go in the half. Bayonne is on the move once again. Bruce Nascimento going out to try and stop the bleeding somehow.
And right now, just trying to tell his guys, hey, fellas, this game ain't over yet. Come on, don't give up on me. I know that's what Bruce is saying. And he's trying to get his team also to tackle like they did a couple seconds ago on every play.
Bruce Nascimento.
You know, at this time, a great time to mention the great job by the stadium people here. Charlie Bremer of Roosevelt Stadium always rolls out the red carpet for our crew, and really a great stadium here in Hudson County, Roosevelt Stadium. The old days, Jim, had a lot of dirt, a lot of dust. They used to call us the Dust Bowl. But a couple of years ago, they decided to go to the turf, and it was a tremendous move, given the teams that participate in this stadium on a weekly basis. You could have 4 or 5 teams practicing here with Pop Warner, freshmen, and varsity.
A multi-use facility. First down and 10 for the Bees. Ball inside the 40, off the option. Here's the keeper by the QB. Turns it upfield and gets good yardage. Is Walkowski. Mike Walkowski.
Now they go with the hurry up.
Huddle. Taking another look, but we're in the no huddle. Walkowski up the center. Handoff goes inside. Ramming forward for a couple yards was number 31, Angel Sanchez. That'll bring up third down for the Bees.
Sometimes you can get a little cute cannon offense, and they try to get an advantage on the defense. But that time the Bulldogs were up for it and didn't really give Bayonne any positive yardage.
3rd down and 4. Ball sits right at the 30-yard line. You see it. Up comes Wolkowski, the senior. Here's Wolkowski. Fumble inside. Wolkowski's just going to have to dive on that to prevent any further damage. But Wolkowski was coming the other way after the fake inside. He was bringing the option towards you.
Well, you can tell things aren't going the Bulldogs' way, and I'll tell you, that's a dual play that hurts them. 1, he fumbles the ball. 2, he gets it back. And 3, now Bayonne will go for it, and they have another opportunity to get the first down. So everything going wrong there for the Bulldogs because Bayonne gets a botched play, but Wolkowski can get the presence to get the ball back, and now have another chance on 4th down because given the situation where they are on the field, why not go for it? And they still have an opportunity to get the first down.
4th down and 6 now, and they'll go for it. Wolkowski comes out. Split wide left is Marky Wallace. He's looking for Marky Wallace. Deep towards the corner of the end zone. Marky goes. Did he get it? No, he did not. Marky Wallace had it in his hands for a second, but could not hold on. But another good ball thrown that time by Mike Wolkowski.
And an excellent effort by Marky Wallace, who almost made a spectacular catch, Jim, but there was some pressure on Mike Wolkowski. As you see 2 Bulldogs coming into the screen and hitting Wolkowski, and almost a sensational catch. In fact, he may have had that for that split second, Jim. As you see, Wolkowski rolls out, shows a strong arm, and he's hit as he releases it. Emerson will take over the football. Nope, good call by the officials. The ball was definitely free. Never had possession of it.
An outstanding look given to you by Bernie, the cameraman, down at about the 5-yard line right there as Emerson will take over.
Bernie Sweetman, the cameraman.
Here's Ledger to hand off, crosses over the 30-yard line. Ledger with a first down run right here, and they need Ledger to get off right there. Anthony Ledger, the 5'10", 185-pound senior, getting a few looks.
And I tell you,
Hofstra.
He got a good look at the end of that play by Marky Wallace, but a good run, a good hard run, and right you see, he gets a shot by Marky Wallace, but Legger gets up and just walks away, and that's how they need Legger to run, who's been starting for, seems like ever for the team.
Look at Marky Wallace, line him up. Boom. Marky still a little angry about not catching that ball, maybe.
Legger, a sophomore starter, and has been starting now for 3 years as in his senior season.
He did not get the first down. 2nd down and very short. Here's Crespo. Crespo hands off inside. Ledger once again. He'll get it this time. Ledger looks to cut it outside. Marky Wallace wraps him up nicely to prevent any further damage, but Ledger will pick up the first down.
Good run by Anthony Legger, who got the first down, but like you said, he could have been still running, Jim, if Marky Wallace doesn't somehow find a way to bring him down. As you see him bounce it outside, breaks one tackle. Nice move with the stiff arm, but Marky wasn't buying it, and he brings him down.
Anthony gives Marky a little facial right here. Watch this. Watch the right arm of Anthony come out right here. Watch this. Hello.
And he held on.
First down 10 for the Bulldogs. Here's Crespo. Crespo hands off to the second back through. It's Legger once again. Legger's got some room. Legger up the middle. Legger busts through, and that's the first big play for the Bulldogs on the night, and it brings in some emotion to the sidelines.
Good run again by Legger, and how about Marky Wallace and Anthony Legger? I think he has single-handedly kept Anthony Legger from the end zone, you can say, right, Jim? I mean, he made the tackle finally on this play. Otherwise, he's gone. And number 40 will come in the screen and bring him down. And these two guys have seen a little bit of too much of each other the last 3 plays. It's the Legger-Marky Wallace show right now.
Ball's inside the 38 for the Bulldogs. Here's Legger once again. They're going to him. Legger fighting for yardage off the right side. Will pick up a couple.
Good job by the Emerson offensive line on all 3 plays, Jim, starting to give Anthony Legger some room. And I don't care how good you are of a running back, you don't get those holes, you're not going anywhere. And now the big guys up front for Emerson may be starting to get something working here, as that defensive line for Bayonne has been winning the war so far, or winning the battle.
Just under 5 minutes to go. 2nd down, about 6 for the Bulldogs. There's Legger and Jose Brito in the backfield. In motion is Pena. Handoff goes inside as Bruce Garcia's tackled for a loss. First man there was Angel Sanchez.
Angel Sanchez and Brian Blankenship, they probably got some words of encouragement from the sidelines from their coaching staff, who came in saying that that is the strength of our team. And you know that they probably were a little bit upset of their lackadaisical play the last 3 plays. That time Emerson had to give, you would think, Anthony Legger some type of rest. They went to Bruce Garcia, and they were all over him.
Big loss on the play, all over him like white.
No, bees on honey.
Bees on honey. Here's Tommy Crespo, 3rd down and 8. Crespo inside the 40, swings it out to Legger. Legger needs to get to the 30, knocked out of bounds, not even close. So let's see if Bruce Nascimento is in go-for-it territory. 3:44 to go. He trails by 21.
I think you have to go for it.
You got to make something happen.
And by the way, you would have been correct with White on Rice also.
You got it. Take another look. They swing it out to Legger. He needed about 9 yards on this play.
Legger in the front.
Looked like number 88. Brian Blankenship was getting held rather convincingly on that play, but there was no call. Good job by the offensive lineman of Emerson to kind of hide that hold.
Well, Bruce Nascimento wants a timeout. This is certainly a big play in the game for him.
You want to go in at halftime with at least something positive, and this has been a very positive drive for Emerson. You got to cash in with something to look forward to in the second half, Jim.
They need a spark.
You know, back to that game that we did last week between St. Peter's and Hoboken for a second, a crossover game. Just a truly spectacular game. Maybe the game of the year in Hudson County. Maybe one of the best games we've seen. And I tell you, these two teams, when we'll get back, we'll talk about it more, but these two teams, maybe they're due for a second half explosion.
Tommy Crespo. His club trails by 21, 3:44 to go. Here's Crespo to throw. Crespo, he's going to be sacked. Taken down that time by 56, coming on Elio Montas.
And Elio was in that backfield before Crespo really had a chance to get rid of that ball. You saw Tommy trying to unload it. Difficult throw for him because he is right-handed. There you see he pumps into his running back Legger, and he's trying to get rid of it, but Elio wanted no part of it as he brought Crespo down. There you see Legger bumps into his quarterback, and if you're the Emerson coaching staff, you kind of hope that Tommy got rid of that ball maybe a second earlier to avoid the sack, but Bayonne takes over at midfield.
Plenty of time for Walkowski. Handoff inside for Clarence Bryant. Bryant turns the corner, dancing his way into Emerson territory up to about the 43, and you got to like what you see out of Clarence Bryant.
No, he's a good one, and you got to like what you see and the way this team is responding, Bayonne, from last week's tough loss to North Bergen in a game where they were shut out 33-0. And you know, Bayonne, again, a Group 4 school, they're playing in the larger conference. And you know that after a game against North Bergen, they were hoping to beat up on somebody tonight. And John Rickard has his sights set on Emerson.
There's Johnny Stewart, wide left. Handoff goes inside to Angel Sanchez. Look at Angel Sanchez. No denying this guy. Just keeps the legs turning. Takes about 4 or 5 Bulldogs to finally bring him to the Roosevelt turf.
Well, there was a good battle going on there between Ramon Negron and Angel, as both of them went mano a mano, and they didn't give up much. Only problem was that Angel had 3 more Bulldogs jump on at the end to finally bring him down. But a good job by number 4, Negron, as he meets Angel right about there, and he is able finally to get some help, and he wasn't going to let go.
Everybody's in on that one right there.
Including Frankie.
For the Bulldogs. Angel Sanchez. You take a look at one of the Bulldogs.
Frankie Johnson finally comes in.
Shaking up a little in that play. That's number 55, Juan Hernandez. Seems to be okay. Walking it off. Attaboy, Juan. 2:40 to go. Clock is running.
You wonder how much the air that was let out of the Bulldog balloon tonight when the opening kickoff was taken back. But those are things you have to overcome in high school football, right? Game of emotion.
Here's Wolkowski, second down. Wolkowski back to throw. Wolkowski looking deep. Nobody home for this one. He's just throwing it away.
And that'll stop the clock with 2:18 to go in the second quarter.
Bring up a third down and long for the Bayonne Bees.
Last week we had a situation, 21-13 with not too much time left in the game. In fact, we didn't know how much time was gone because the clock was not working. So, and we saw a hell of a finish, and are we going to get it in 2 weeks in a row? We're going to see the Bulldogs come back and maybe have another fantastic finish. You get spoiled when you get a game like you got last week, one for the ages. As Ed Ford, the FA, said in the press box after last week's game when St. Peter's and Hoboken went at it, with Hoboken winning in overtime 28-27, a game that they will talk about for a long time in Hudson County.
0-0 at the half, 55-point explosion in the second half, 28-27. Here's a good defensive play by Emerson. Coming up with the sack is David Gutierrez.
David looked like he came in without anybody wondering if he was on the defense. Looked like he came in from the sidelines. He was so unblocked. Now you see comes on your screen, and the quarterback, Mike Wolkowski, never saw him until he looked up at the last second. How'd you like this? You fake the ball, you're ready to throw it, and and he took it easy on him.
Off the stunt, off that right side comes DG, David Gutierrez, and he gets a big sack, and that's just what the doctor ordered. He'll put the Bees in punt formation. Back to punt. And getting it off is Johnny Stewart. Bounces at the 10, takes an Emerson bounce, will roll around at about the 15, will be down at the 14. So Emerson once again backed up deep. They have had tough field position all game. Last time they had the ball was their best drive of the game before it stalled.
You know, an important game for both teams, Jim. When you come in with a 1-2 record and a 1-3 record, you know, there is no more room there for losses. You want to start winning and turn things around early in the season. It's still at the midway point. And a win by Bayonne, now you're 2-3, and maybe you can get something going. And for Emerson, you could have possibly go 500 on the season.
And 500 would be the goal of either one of these two teams. First down. Here's a handoff to Legger. Legger dances the way up to the 20-yard line. He talked to both of these coaches, Anthony, to say, that's what we want. Our goal is 500. We're not going to sit here and say we want to go 8-2 or 7-3, or we just want to get to 500.
Nice tackle by Clarence Bryan. Otherwise, this could have been a play that had some positive yardages. Clarence came in at the last second to trip up Anthony Legger. There's Clarence.
Good tackle by Clarence. You saw him zone him up all the way. Lined him up. Took him out low. That's what you got to do when you got those guys with the quick, nasty feet dancing their way through the secondary. You try and take them high, they're going by.
Emerson elects to just let the clock run, Jim.
30 seconds left. Here's a handoff inside to Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets up to about the 20-yard line, and Bruce Nascimento will just look to run it out here and start fresh in the second half.
And I don't know if they will. Maybe they get one more play. It's going to be difficult. I don't think they will get a playoff.
It's tough. You gear up all week for the game. As the clock runs out on the first half, Bruce Nascimento will drop the headset. He'll lead his team into the locker room. Well, after it's all said and done in the first half, really not the 24 minutes of football that the Emerson Bulldogs were looking for. Well, for Bayonne, it all started early and often. Johnny Stewart went 97 yards to open this game up, and the Bees have taken off ever since. 21-0 Bees. Halftime is next.
Bye.